back to the topic of service, I think a lot of people would probably expect that a Dalton retailer really doesn't have to concentrate on service the same way a retailer in Des Moines might. But that's not really the case. It's maybe different service in some aspects, but it's still service, isn't it?
Oh, yes. And to me, I think it's the exact opposite. I think we have to worry more about service. With the marketplace changing to internet driven business, service is what sets us apart. You know, if we can have that consumer that doesn't know exactly what they need, but they have an idea of what they want, and we can get the right products in their hands, then to me, that's where we separate ourselves. You know, we can all give you good pricing in Dalton, but we can separate ourselves by giving you a good service, by educating you on what you need and why you need it, and providing that to our consumers.
I gotcha. You had mentioned somewhere 30 to 40% of your business is online. What would your estimation be as to Dalton in general? Is that pretty much, would you think, standard overall?
I would say not overall, because there are still a lot of people that deal in wholesale business, that's their primary objective, and they don't rely on the internet as much. I would say there's some people in Dalton that are 80, 90 plus %.
Really?
Internet, yeah. And I would say there's some that are 5 to 10% internet.
But that's still over the telephone. I mean, the internet gets you the live person on the telephone.
Yeah, but I can name quite a few that don't even have an internet presence, that they survive because they've done business for a long time, they have their customer base, and they service their customer base well.
I see. Are most of the websites pretty advanced here in Dalton, would you say?
I think they are coming fast advanced. I mean, I think for a while, you know, some people were very slow to adopt to the web, but for the past 3 to 5 years, I think if you'll look at the websites from the stores in Dalton, they have greatly changed.
What are the key elements to selling floor coverings over the internet? I mean,
key element,
it's more than just throwing up a website and having somebody sit by the phone, I suppose.
It is. To me, the main thing is communication on what the consumer wants. Because if you're doing it over the web, that means your product is coming from your warehouse, getting on a truck, and it's going some distance. So you want to make sure that the customer communicated what they want, and you communicated back what they needed. That way, it gets to them how they expected it to, and in the timely manner they expected it. So communication on the internet, whether it be email, telephone, live chat, whatever it may be, is definitely the key to internet service.
Yeah, and I suppose a lot of that is repeat business. Well, that was one thing I wanted to ask you about commercial versus residential. I suspect a lot of the commercial is repeat customers.
Yeah, and we even have residential. I mean, surprisingly, I think right now the average time is 7 years that you change your flooring. But I'm actually surprised because flooring, you can't really put a logo on it. You can't put, a way to remember me. It's just got to be that experience that they had the first time. They have to remember to come back to you from that experience. And I am shocked at the amount of repeat business we get because of the good experience that they had with us.
Yeah. Well, I suppose, just like they say, a repeat customer is the least expensive for you.
Yeah.
And for them, hey, I had a good experience here. Why should I roll the dice and go with somebody else when I may not have that positive experience the second time? How would the commercial residential markets break down here?
For Georgia Carpet, commercial has been something that we've been focusing on for the past couple of years, and we have grown our commercial business leaps and bounds. It's still a very small portion of our business. We're much more residential end homeowner customer, but we are focusing on that. Commercial during the slowdown, commercial was still pretty strong, so it was a market for us to get into that still had some business growth. So we have focused on it and we've done well, but it's still a very small part of our.
It seems like the internet is a good option for people in the commercial business, contractors and others.
It is, but the mills do a lot of specking, and when you're doing commercial business, sometimes the person you buy from is also your competitor. So that makes it a little bit difficult and a little sticky sometimes. But we get through it.
Very interesting. Who do you consider your competition? I mean, obviously, guys up and down the street are your competition. How about on the internet?
Lumber Liquidators is a big player. Home Depot and Lowe's, of course, they have a good internet presence. For overall, just saying one website or whatever is a big competition, I can't say that. There's so many out there on a daily basis. My salespeople might tell me 2 or 3 different people they're going up against, but it's hardly ever the same person over and over. So I don't have one, besides say Lumber Liquidators, I don't have one that really dominates who I'm going up against.
Do you do advertising on the internet?
We do some advertising on the internet, your traditional pay-per-click and things of that nature that anybody that's an internet company will do.
Now, I guess that's challenging. I remember reading about Home Depot. I mean, they're basically local, no matter where you are.
They are.
And you're local here. Now, does that put you at a disadvantage in places other than in Dalton?
It does. Home Depot is definitely, they're the big bully on the playground sometimes, or the big player on the playground, however you want to say it. Their locations afford them a lot of advantages. A lot of people can order it online and go pick it up in Ohio or Kansas or wherever that may be. And so sometimes it does affect our business, but for the most part, the value that you need to take that, you're welcome to.
No, I was.
No. The value that they save here is so great that it overcomes that.
I'm wondering, we hear so much money being spent by the big players online, and a lot of those are the brick and mortar types.
They are.
And and again, they're after the independent floor covering retailer and getting their business. They like selling floor coverings. It's a good product category for them. It seems like that's going to get a whole lot tougher going forward.
They do a good job of merchandising, the big boxes do, and putting their products out there. But to me, it's competition, and if you're going against the best, it makes you better. So if going up against them, makes me think outside the box more, or makes me, focus on advertising on the internet a little bit different, then that's good for me, because it keeps me sharp and it keeps us always trying to stay on the cutting edge. I mean, for a big box, they might take them longer to change direction or make a change. And for us being on smaller, we're able to maybe go with the flow a little bit more and anticipate the changes that are coming in the internet and make those.
Do you see that forcing you really to become more involved in your internet presence? I mean, are you going to have to spend more money, do more things, have more bells and whistles going forward?
I think your website needs to be just as interactive or just as good as theirs. But as far as the amount you spend or the way you advertise, I think as long as you're creative and you're always trying to do what's right for your company, they're going to do what's right for Home Depot, and we're going to do what's right for Georgia Carpet. And as long as we're always focused on that and we're not focused on what they're doing, then I think for a retail store like us, that's the way to go. It's not to try to meet their standards, because they have millions and millions of dollars to advertise and to develop their website, and we don't. But as long as we stick within what we're capable of doing, I think we'll be successful.
Makes sense. How about social media? Is that something that you've tried?
Yes, and if you're a retail store that works on the internet and you haven't tried social media, then you're probably behind the curve. But making social media work has always been tricky. You want it to be you. You know, we want to promote us. It's like if Georgia Carpet was a person. You want it to be you. You don't want to be fake. You want to be who you are. And just making social media work for us is just being who we are.
It seems like it would be a challenge. You know, it would seem to work well locally, which I guess is an element here, but maybe a smaller element. And it seems to do that on a national basis, which is really the ballpark you're playing in,
Yes.
that would seem to be a lot more challenging.
It is. You just have to be creative. You have to be interactive with your customer. You know, you can't have your customer make a comment or, you know, say something about your company or give you a good response and you don't respond to them. You have to be interactive. You know, if your customer is going to take the time to talk to you, you need to take the time to talk to your customer.
I see. I noticed on your website you have a lot of referrals.
Yes.
That obviously is the best, I suppose, the best communication that can take place, and you really seem to concentrate on that.
But to me and to our company, having a satisfied, happy customer, it means more than anything else. And if a customer wants to give us a good referral because we did a great job, then I want other people to hear about it. I mean, we want to highlight our strengths, and I think our referrals are our strengths.
People put a lot more store in that. If a customer of yours says something positive, they'll believe that a lot more than they will a salesperson or you or somebody employed.
That's great.
What's in the future? You've got 3 stores on the street. You do a booming internet business. You've been around for a long time. You've got lots of customers. What's ahead? I mean, things are getting tougher. I would imagine that there's going to be more independent retailers around the country that will close up shop and go out of business. What do you see in the future? What are the things you will be concentrating on going forward?
I think continue to grow our online presence, continuing to grow our commercial business, continue to cultivate our current business relationships with our wholesale dealers, making sure we have a satisfied customer. You know, if we continue to do the right things for our current customers, our business will continue to grow, no matter what the marketplace does. I think you'll see some big changes in the next few years. I mean, lumber liquidators could not be here in the next 3 years. You know, you never know. And that's a huge chunk of business out there. While there may be some reduction in retail, independent retailers, there may not be. I mean, I think in the last, from 2007 to 2011 or something, the mills were losing tons of independent retailers. And I think that's gotten to a mass now that the marketplace is comfortable. And as long as there's not a lot of entries into the marketplace with independent retailers, I think we all have our little niche and our little piece of the pie. And when the economy turns around, hopefully everybody's pie gets a little bit bigger. But we continue to strive to grow our part. And we want to be bigger, and we want to offer our discounts to more and more customers.
Very good. Ryan, I really appreciate you having us in here, and I'm very impressed with your operation and with you personally, and thanks very much for talking with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's nice to meet you and talk to you, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Love your operation. Thank you very much. We've been talking with Ryan Vaughn. We're at Georgia Carpet Industries in Dalton, Georgia. This is Talk Floor TV.